everybody? It's your boy Pitts, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live. Listen, it's going down all things HBCUs. And who else better to start it off with them Bowie State Bulldogs? We coming to you, Bowie State Bulldogs, total access. We got the Morgan State Bears. Listen, all HBCUs information, all HBCU news, sporting events, updates. You get it live here with Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, Comcast Channel 77, Verizon Channel 11 is going down. Don't you miss a beat.
Listen, it's only the beginning because it's early still.
And
we're gonna be here all day.
All day.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Pitt Sports Zone. If you guys have not realized that, I'm excited because college football is here, right? 2 weeks away, and none other, man. Listen, we got a return guest, my guy, Coach Greg Mcghee. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I appreciate you for having me tonight.
Listen, you guys, Coach Mcghee is he's a return guest. You know, he was on the show before, back at his time at Howard, and now we're catching up with Coach as he enters year 2 as the offensive coordinator for North Carolina A&T. Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride, baby.
Man, so first off, you been back home lately, man? You've been back to the 412?
No, not really, man. I think last time I was home was around Christmas time.
Okay.
Took my family back home and, got to spend Christmas with the family, man. And it was a good, always good to be back home. So
okay, awesome.
That was about it.
So, man, listen, year 2, you're entering year 2 at A&T. What's different, and we're going to jump right into it, what's different about you and your offense compared to where you were sitting a year ago?
Oh, man, to start, we're going into the season healthy. Week 3, we was playing our 7th-string quarterback, 6th-string quarterback. So
Wow.
going into it this season, man, we're healthy across the board. We made out of camp, healthy, no major injuries. Obviously, guys get nicked up here and there, but we made it out healthy, man. We got some new additions on us offensive staff that we made this offseason, and those guys really came in and really set the foundation of what we're trying to do. They kind of just added to our vision offensively. And yeah, man, they hit the ground running. They're doing an awesome job right now. All the coaches on the offensive side of the ball, in that regard. So
wow, you said 6th or 7th string by week 3.
I'm telling you, we lost 2. We lost 2 in the spring. Our week 2 game against UCF, we lost 3 that game. So, and then we had to go into conference play the very next week, and we found a way to win. So,
wow.
I mean, so
wow.
Yeah.
You talking about resilience, though. Still being, down so many players, but finding ways to edge it out is definitely a kudos to coaching. Players' resiliency. Coach, what did year 1 teach you about this program that you couldn't have learned from watching film or studying their roster?
Man, guys are gonna fight. Guys are gonna fight for you. If they believe in, everything that you're preaching and everything that you stand on day to day. The alumni, everyone in house for the most part, man, is really what kind of all we need, and that's what we understood. Like, it's just everyone in house. It's us versus everybody right now. And we're okay with that, and we take that, and that lights some fire for us, on a day to day. So we're taking that, rolling that into year 2, and we're looking to do some things a lot better than last year.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I thought we did a good job this offseason with some recruiting aspects, getting some big guys up front, to help out with some of that stuff. And but yeah, like I said, the additions as far as coaching staff. So I thought it was a good mix of everybody we brought in to help out, moving forward.
When you talk about year two, how much easier is it for you to build the offense, or when your players already understand, your terminology, your
Hmm.
expectations, and your philosophies?
I mean, that's funny you say that. Like that's one of the messages I was preaching to the kids this summer and spring. I'm like, guys, the last time you guys had an offensive coordinator for 2 years, y'all are probably freshmen. You know what I mean? So like we hit the ground running this spring. There was no holding back. We're able to just, how we, as far as terminology go and conceptually, and they understand our identity and what we're trying to get done already, so it's easier to throw in, new wrinkles to stuff, and they could just pick it up right along with it and just keep it rolling. So that was really the benefit of having some experienced guys. All the quarterbacks end up coming back, and for the most part, and like I said, we just had some new additions, and we caught everyone up to speed, and we kept it rolling.
When consistency plays a part, that's one of the things. The continuity one, but the health of your players or your teammates, and being
Hmm.
able to, establish that rapport,
Hmm.
getting to learn each other better, especially after a year going through. And I think, going through what you guys went through last year with the injuries, if anything, it helps your team come out even stronger, because now other players know, like Tomlin always says, the next man's fortune.
Hmm.
But you still grow and, stronger within team chemistry.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and also, man, just getting these guys to believe that they can win too. Like, I mean, last year we lost a couple close ones, that we should have won. Week one to
Yeah.
Tennessee State, right? Going down to tie the game in a 2-minute drive, and we end up getting a field goal block, like little things like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know one bad play can change a game, especially on teams. But man, we were in a lot of games last year, and just finding ways to win, was our focus this offseason, finishing strong, believing that, these guys can win because they can. They're talented enough. We feel like we got the right coaching staff around the players, and we just got to get it done. No more excuses.
I've never asked this question. I've always wondered it, right, Coach? Is it, and I think from the athlete in me, just want to hear from the coach's perspective. I know an athlete is like a loss is a loss, which it is. When we talk about tough losses and big losses,
Mm-hmm.
no coach prefers. Which one is harder?
They all weigh out the same. I mean, because the close ones, obviously, you could have won. Like, what then you
Right,
ask yourself, like, what could we have done different? You
right,
know,
right.
and then the major losses is, what could we have done different? Like, where was the disconnect in this regard? So,
Yeah,
they both hurt, man. I mean, I can't tell you one weighs more than the other as far as that goes. You just gotta get back to the drawing boards as quick as possible and figure out a way to win. How the heck can we
yeah,
win? So, I they both hurt. They
yeah,
both hurt. They both hurt
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, and we definitely want to take a shout out on Instagram. Shout out to Desana Moses 365 Couture, all the gear and fashion here in the DMV. Appreciate your support. Coach, what was some of the things that influenced you after last season to make you attack the off season in the manner that you did, whichever manner you did? Like, what was it last year? Did you change up how you attacked this off season? Because given January 13th of 2026 really was the full year that
Hmm.
you've been there. So, did you change anything going into the off season?
I mean, I think the first thing first is, trying to get in the best personnel possible for what we're trying to do and accomplish. I think that
Yeah.
was the first thing. And then we got a couple pieces that we were really looking for. And then definitely the mindset has to change, right? Like, who do we have back? What playmakers do we have? And you kind of build from the inside out in that regard. You get what I'm saying? And find ways to get those guys the ball at all times and make your job easier as a coordinator, essentially, and
Yeah.
protect the quarterback, man. And that's what we brought the big guys up, brought them in for. We have to do a better job of protecting the quarterback. The quarterback got to do a better job of getting the ball out of his hands. So a lot of that mindset has shifted in that regard to benefit the players in this offense.
Speaking of personnel, you
Hmm.
know, when you look at your personnel and you changed it, is there anything how does changing of the personnel factor into does it have any sway within the players collection? That's more so the people that you're putting around them, right? How important is the personnel aspect to understand the identity of the team as well in regards to just players buying in? When you have the certain coaches around them buying into the belief in the coaches as well as the coaches believing in them.
Man, I think it's a blend of kind of both of those things. Like, wholeheartedly. Like, obviously, your personnel is to me like one of the most important pieces to any team.
Yeah,
Like you got to know who your guys are and what they're capable of doing. In that
absolutely.
same breath, they got to know exactly where your mindset is and what you guys are standing on, your belief system, style of play. I mean, everything that you're trying to get them. And it's just like a continuous daily battle of meshing the two together until you're on the same page, and to me, that's a big part of what spring ball's for. That's a big part of what the summertime off-season program is for. And then you kind of put it to test to start a camp, and then by the end of camp, you kind of want to have all that stuff tied in. So now you can start focusing on a different opponent, up until, a couple weeks out, obviously, your team, you're just kind of focusing on self identity, what you guys
Yeah,
do well, how can we, kind of layer things that we do well. And it's more so focused on you guys, and that's how it should be. Spring, summer, fall camp is all focused on you,
yeah.
and then once obviously the season come around, you can start to, tailor and add some wrinkles to things that you already do well. But I think it's a mesh of, to answer your question, I think it's a mesh of both personnel um,
Yeah.
and identity, you know.
What position group has made the biggest jump or has stood out most to you during camp?
You and on both sides of the ball, you saying offensively?
Offensively.
O line for sure. O line for sure. We know we got some playmakers on the edge outside. We know we got some playmakers in the backfield at the quarterback, running back position. We got some tight ends as well. But the O line, as far as like I said, bringing a couple more pieces in, being able to, pick up the playbook. Coach Jack came in and did a good job with those guys, still doing a great job with those guys. And they worked their butts off, man. And they, we've seen a lot of good positive things up front throughout camp that we really like. So I'll definitely
How
say that a lot.
how important is versatility for what your offensive needs are or what you're trying to accomplish this year?
Versatility in a sense of scheme, or you saying
Think
personnel?
both.
Um, Scheme, man, I think is, there's time where we as coaches, lean on scheme a little bit more than we should. But it goes back to me, man, personnel. What can you do well? What can you
Yeah,
do well? Like, you ain't got to make it hard. What can you guys do well and find ways to get you guys the ball,
yeah, yeah.
and you can simplify it, make it that simple. You know what I mean? And so you just be good at what you're good at. I always say be who you can afford to be,
Coach,
you
we're
know.
2 weeks away from where the games count, right?
Mhm.
And we're 2 weeks away from where, as you stated, the practices are no longer focused on us, where we're now, have an opponent in front of us. What is what is the are there any questions still that you have that you're trying to answer in these last 2 weeks, or have you seen enough from your unit offensively to say, okay, we're ready now, let's start adding and move forward to get ready for our first week opponent?
Man, it's a little bit of both, man. Because remember, like, you have scrimmages and stuff, and guys are competing. We're doing these, situational things, and guys are showing up and having a good time. And you got some battles where the defense is winning, you got some battles where the offense is winning. But I think it's always a different energy, and whenever you see a different color on the other side, and you excited to see those guys compete against someone else.
Yeah.
Obviously you competing against the guys in camp, but after three scrimmages and you seeing the same colors on the, you start to kind of be like,
Yeah.
man, come on,
Right.
man,
I'm ready to hit somebody else.
ready to hit somebody else. So that's where I think our guys are at right now, man. And
Yeah.
guys are excited. Like I said, man, the energy around the facility, around campus in general is excited, to get this thing underway.
Absolutely, and because you were a part of the MEAC
Mm-hmm.
before you moved to North Carolina A&T. Morgan State being a usual opponent you played against and coached against.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what advice, or is there any advice that you give to your players in regards to, yeah, different team, but this is who Morgan State is.
For sure, man. And Morgan State is to me has always been the same in a sense of their identity. They want to be a hard-nosed football team, you know. They are, not want to be, they are. They've shown it, on film, over the years, had some battles. So even back to when I was playing, we had some battles going back and forth. It's always coming down to a second half adjustment, fourth quarter games in those regards. And even my time at Howard coaching, there was times where it came down to the wire, overtime, whatever the case may be. I remember in 2023, that was the MEAC championship game at Howard, essentially. You know what I mean? And I think it was shoot, 13 points I think was scored or something like that. It was a low scoring game, and my point being is that they're always going to come, buckle their chin straps and ready to play ball. And we understand that, and you know, um, it's gonna be a good one. I'm excited about it.
When the season begins, can you tell us, of course, without sharing too much, but the identity of you and your team and your offense, and you know what does that look like?
It's a good question. Offensively, man, we want to be able to establish the run game, right? We want to be able to establish a run game and be able to layer everything that we do well, right? Be able to layer it up. What we do well. Like I said earlier, man, like you don't have to overthink it. Get you guys the ball, do what you do. you know do what you do and get you guys the ball, in all forms and fashions. Whether it's a guy up front, you be able to find ways to put him in the best position to
Yeah,
get the run game going, and guys outside is self-explanatory. So I think we're really coming into that place where we got a good solid group up front that we're going to lean on. We got some backs, we got some quarterbacks who can throw the ball, some athletic guys move around a little bit, and guys outside that's winning a one-on-one matchup, contested catch matchups. And yeah, so I'm excited about this season with our guys.
is there? What do you think, if there was one, a misconception about North Carolina A&T overall?
um they need to come back to the MEAC. I
Mm,
think I hear that too much. I hear that a lot.
do
And
you agree?
I don't. We
Okay.
don't. We don't agree. We feel like the CAA is a really good conference, and we can't compete. Like I said, man, we were in 3 or 4 games last year that we feel like we could have came out with at least, on top of the two that we won last year in conference. So, I mean, it's not a matter of if we can't compete. We just got to find ways to finish, and do what we do. Be the
Absolutely.
same old A&T from before, winning national championships and having that mindset, that blue collar mindset of coming out and,
Yeah.
and getting the job done. It's that simple. So yeah, that's how I feel about
He said it and say less. Um,
it. Yeah,
yeah,
man.
but and I want to kind of take a move, not really move it, but not take the focus off A&T, but more so you coached in the HBC Legacy Bowl, right?
Yep.
And you've seen the opportunities. Can you share from your coaching perspective? Because I never did get to follow up with you from
hmm
that game, just that experience from you as a coach, and then thinking of yourself as that former player, the opportunity that it provides for our young student athletes.
Man, it's opportunity for the players. I mean, is top notch stuff, man. When you're thinking of that all-star game, the combine that comes along with it, being able to have all 32 teams there to watch you perform, whether you're at practice or the combine stuff, invite only. I think that's the ultimate peak. That's what you want. Guys who can't get to Lucas Oil, for the big combine, like, okay, well, we got one ourselves,
Yeah,
and Doug and Shaq and those guys are doing a great job of promoting it and getting I think they had it in the Washington Redskins Stadium last year.
You're talking
You know,
about
the
the
combat.
NFL combat? Oh,
Yep,
right,
the
the combat.
combine.
It was down in Ashburn. Yep.
Yep.
Practice
So
facility for
the prep,
Commanders.
man, come on, man. I mean, that's what you asking for. You're asking for an opportunity,
Yeah.
right? And you're on the biggest stage doing it. You know, with all 32 teams there. So I mean, that speaks for itself. You know, as far
Yeah.
as that goes. So I think it's a great experience for those guys, especially now where you playing in against HBCU opponents essentially, but it comes down to what you're able to put on that field, for
Hmm.
that showcase, and that's just pretty dope, though. I love what they're doing with that.
It's moving from New Orleans to Atlanta this year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely going to add some excitement to it, because Atlanta is when you talk about HBCU, you talk about culture.
For sure.
And, Atlanta is rich in culture when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to what that HBCU brand really feels like. And I'm excited. I enjoy them, right? Because I get to watch players like, let's go to your Bison's running back, Ian Wheeler, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ian went undrafted with the Bears, showed out, showed what he can do. They didn't retain him. He left, got a championship. Now he's in Miami, and it shows that, one, the proof of the product and HBCUs are there that the players
Yeah.
can compete at those levels as well.
Yeah, man. He just scored with not Buffalo. Buffalo. He just
I mean
scored the other
Buffalo.
day.
I
Yeah.
said Miami. Yeah,
No, I'm with you. Yeah, I mean, he just scored the other night. I think he had like 50 yards and a touchdown or however many yards it was. But I mean, come on, man. Everyone knows this. You look at the NFL Hall of Fame.
yeah,
Look at the NFL Hall of Fame. You got a bunch of HBCU guys. And it's been like that. It's the one thing we always say: opportunity. And guys believing in guys. Hunter from Morgan just signed with
Morgan.
Detroit.
Right, and he had a heck
You
of a game. Yeah,
Come on now. I'm
Elijah
drawing a
Williams.
blank. Look,
You
the
got
D
you got
lineman
South
from.
Carolina,
Come on,
South
man.
Carolina State with the
Come on, man.
Vikings. Yeah,
Come on. So I mean, it's not a matter of if guys can play. Like that's not even the question. It just comes down to guys getting the legit opportunity to perform and show guys that they can play. Like that's what it comes down to. We've been around ballers our whole life. We know what that
yeah,
looks like. We've seen it. You
yeah,
know, we've seen it all throughout our conference. Shoot, the SWAC conference. I
yeah,
mean, throughout all HBCU ball, like we know guys can play.
yeah. I got a comment from Instagram. Your favorite coach, 73, said offensive coach of the year.
You know it,
Man.
man.
But listen, it's kind of like, normally, coach, I like to ask this question. Um, and I ask the players and I say, if you can describe your team in one word, what would it be? I feel like for me answering it out just from what I've heard, I would say hungry, right?
Hmm.
Hungry is what it sounds like, your team is at this point. Hungry because, regardless of the schedule, and last year there was some games that you guys were in, and feel that we are where we are, why we are. So we're hungry to show that, we're not here by mistake.
No, for sure. I would agree. Definitely that. Like I said, man, the energy around the facility, man, is I mean, guys are flying around. They want to take each other's heads off. You know what I mean? Like coach, like, hey, we're thud tempo today. Like you know,
Cut
and
it up.
yeah, man, like, hey, we're not, getting closer to the 29th. So, but
Yeah,
man, is I would definitely say that, man. Like I said, I felt like on all three phases, offense, defense, special teams, we added some key spots, key positions, man, that we're like, holy, I don't know how the heck we got him, but thank you, we did,
yeah,
but and man, like I said, man, guys are excited. Guys are excited from the new staff, guys, the old staff, it's just kind of like, all right, now we're gonna show ourselves, we ain't gotta show nobody else. Let's just prove ourselves right. Yeah, we
yeah.
knew it. We knew it all along. So
Absolutely. They say prove it to the person in the mirror. You ain't got to explain it to
mm-hmm.
nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Man, coach, well,
For
listen,
sure, man.
I'm grateful It's been. I can't believe it's been 2 years, but
Yeah, man.
it's like time really did fly.
Hey, and it ain't slowing down, and it's not slowing
Time
down at
did
all. You know,
fly,
so
man.
yeah, man.
But
Going on a
I
year
look
two.
forward to, buddy. Let's get,
You
yeah,
know it,
year two.
man. Yeah, man. Excited, man. So you be excited to see you down here, down on the 29th, stopping through. So it's gonna be a good one though, man.
Now I look
So
forward to it, man. For all of you that are in the area, week 0 is what we call it. You got North Carolina A&T versus Morgan State. This is definitely going to be one to be present for. 6 p.m. game time, I believe, is kickoff time.
yep.
Listen, don't meet me there, beat me there. August 29th, meet me in North Carolina, agriculture and technology.
You know it. You
I
know it.
appreciate you, man. And, believe it or not, because listen, you're a hometown hero. We talked about this before, everything that you've done at Perry, and the way that you've represented, I talked to Woodland Hills High School coach, and we was just going through the plethora, even though we were only like at that moment focused on Woodland Hills, but the same can be said for Perry with you, the Rob Butlers, the Rob Rutherfords, right? And everything that comes out of Western Pennsylvania, and that I love going back home and taking this information and sharing that information, because when you look at it, looking out back home, you got Keemon Spell. I think he's like the number 2 running back in the nation going to Georgia next year.
Number one,
right?
yeah, number one, yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, it's just, I love to see the talent coming out from back
Man.
home and everything that they got to offer.
And once again, check check the documents, the Hall of Famers that come out of Western PA. And it's funny, like we talk about it all the time in the office with the staff and stuff that's from North Carolina. I'm like, guys, we're just talking about Western PA. We ain't even talking about the Eastern side. Like
Right.
you still can go to the Eastern side and we can do the whole state thing now,
We can
But
lump Philly in there
yeah,
if we
you know what I'm
need
saying?
to.
Harrisburg, things like
Yeah.
that. So Erie, with the
Yeah.
James Conner, man, that
Shady McCoys.
come on now.
Yeah.
Come on. So I mean, Western PA for sure, the entire state of PA, definitely got some ballers, man, and it'll continue to be that way, Harsh, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just that simple, blue collar guys, tough, physical guys, just Western PA. That's just Western PA, man. So
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you for taking this time with me, my guy. Definitely look forward to chatting with you as the season goes along. Good luck in 2 weeks. I'll see you in 2 weeks. But
yes,
definitely,
sir.
man, the best of luck.
Okay, sounds good, man. Appreciate you having me tonight. Definitely see you soon, man.
Absolutely. Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Pitts, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live with the offensive coordinator, Coach Greg Mcghee, North Carolina A&T. It's going down. Thank y'all for joining me and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.